Good morning, everybody. Carl Iglesias here with the Preferred Agent team over at Keller Williams Realty Partners. I hope everybody's doing well this morning. And I wanted to go over some rules that home buyers, should be following when working with real estate agents. Okay, and you got to remember, real estate agents, generally enjoy working with people, but there's always some clients who cross the line, either intentionally or unintentionally. And here are a few, simple protocols that you can use while shopping for a home that will keep you on good terms with your agent. Okay. Rule number one, understand that your agent works on commission. Okay. They work on commission. Most real estate agents are paid a commission. And if an agent doesn't close, a transaction, they don't get paid. As a result, agents by and large are highly motivated to do a good job for you. Okay, very few agents work purely on salary, and if they do, you probably don't want to hire them because they'll make the same amount of money whether they're helpful to you or not. Rule number two, keep your appointments. Be on time. Understand, that your agent, they have other clients and prospective clients they're working with. They ought to be available to you, within a reasonable amount of time. But you should realize, you can't always be on the top, of their to-do list. Okay. Time is valuable for agents. So keep track of any appointments you make with yours. And if you are stuck in traffic or running late, for some other reason, call your agent, give them an idea of when you expect to arrive. And don't pull a no-show. That's just a no-no. You got to give the agent some respect. If you're not going to make it, call your agent. Okay. Rule number three, how to, and this is, how to choose an agent. Okay. You should feel free to interview several agents. You want to make sure that you end up working with the right agent, the agent that you're comfortable with. And you ought to clearly tell every agent that you are in the interview stage. Okay. Okay. You should never interview more than one agent from the same company. While many agents, within the same office get along, there could be inter-office politics, you're unaware of, that could make your home purchase more difficult than it needs to be. But while you're in the interview stage, be very clear about that you're interviewing agents, because if you don't do that and you're out with several agents, those agents are going to think that you're their client exclusively, and reality is you're not. Okay. So be very clear with them that you're interviewing other agents so that they know that that's what you're doing. Okay. Number four, big one, and this happens all the time. Okay. Do not contact the listing agent. Okay. Do not contact the listing agent, especially if you're working with a buyer's agent. Listing agents work for the seller, not the buyer. If you end up hiring the listing agent, on a property you decide to buy, if you hire them to represent you, that agent will now be working on the dual agency, which is a situation that results in a conflict of interest for the agent. And they don't want to be in that situation. Okay. Listing agents do not want to do a buyer agent's job. Okay. Let your agent do their job and do not try to contact the listing agent directly. Okay. If you have a listing agent that's willing to work both sides, they're not going to represent you 100%. They can't represent both sides ethically. They can't have your best interest and the seller's best interest at the same time. It can't be done. It's impossible. Okay. If they do decide to go that route, they're most likely looking to line their own pockets. Okay, it's all about them and their interests, and definitely it's not about the seller or the buyer. So keep that in mind. Okay, rule number five: practice open house protocol. Okay, and this happens a lot. Ask your agent if it's considered proper for you to attend open houses alone. In some areas, it's frowned upon. to go to open houses unescorted without your agents. Okay, some people get upset about that. Okay, if you get the okay from your agent, hand their business card, to the agent who's hosting the open house as a way of announcing that you're represented. Okay, do not ask the open house host questions about the seller or the seller's motivation to sell. Okay, let your agent ask those questions. Your agents will probably use, a different approach that will work better for you. Okay. Similarly, do not volunteer information about yourself to the seller's agent. It probably won't benefit you in the long run and could harm you during negotiations should you choose to make an offer on the house. Okay. Remember, the listing agent represents the seller. Okay. So, sixth rule. Sign a buyer broker's agreement, okay? It's basically a contract to hire. I mean, after you've been through the interview stage and you've picked an agent that you want to work with, expect to sign a broker's agreement, okay? It creates a relationship between you and the agent and explains, the agent's duties to you. If you're not ready to sign with an agent, don't ask the agent to show you homes, okay? Otherwise, if you see a place that you want to buy, there may be, confusion about, who should rightfully get the commission, And remember this, the person who's known as the procuring cause is the one that gets paid. And if you got 3 agents taking you to the same property and you make an offer with one, you just created a problem and a situation that could get kind of messy. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, sign a broker's agreement with an agent, especially if you found them, you're going to be making an offer with that agent. You should be signing a broker's agreement with that agent. Okay, an exclusive right to represent. Okay, so the seventh rule. Okay, which kind of ties into the last is always ask and sign an agency disclosure. Okay, by law, agents are required to give a buyer an agency disclosure. Okay, this document varies across state lines, but signing an agency disclosure is your proof of receipt. It is solely a disclosure. Okay, it is not a legally binding contract. Okay, it is not an agreement to use a particular agency. Read it thoroughly. The best and most practiced type of agency is a single agency. And this means you are represented by your own agent, okay, who must put your interests first, okay, because they have a fiduciary responsibility to you and you alone, okay? And again, they should be, presenting you with that form when they first meet you, okay? By law, they're supposed to do so. And again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice, but this is what agents are supposed to be doing, and most of them don't. Okay, so if you're not getting an agency disclosure signed or at least presented in front of you, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, rule number 8, make your expectations known. Okay, if you expect your agent to pick you up at the front door and drive you home after every showing, tell them that's what you expect. Many will provide that service, okay? If they don't, they may ask you to meet them at the office, okay? But at least let your expectations known, Let your agent know how you prefer them to communicate with you and how often, Do you want phone calls? Do you want emails? Do you want text messages? Set realistic goals and timeframes to find your home. Ask your agent, how can you help, by supplying feedback. The more feedback you give your agent, the more information you give your agent, the better they can help you. Okay. Your agent should be listening. Okay. They should be honing in on exactly what it is you want. Okay. If you're displeased, say so. Okay. Agents want to make you happy. Don't be afraid to speak up. Again, it goes with communication. Okay. If you're unhappy with your agent, let them know you're unhappy. Okay. Trust me, if you tell your agent, hey, I'm not happy, and if you don't straighten up, I'm going to be going elsewhere, trust me, that'll get them back on track. Okay. Speak your mind. Okay. 9th rule, do not sign forms you don't understand. Okay. Okay. Do not feel silly for asking your agent to explain a form to you. It's their job. Many forms are second nature to agents, but not to you. Okay, so ask for an explanation until you are satisfied that you understand it. Okay, that it's clear. Okay. However, realize again, agents are not attorneys. Okay, and they cannot and should not interpret law. Okay, don't ask agents to give what amounts to a legal opinion. Prefaced by the statement, you are not asking for a legal opinion. Okay, they're not attorneys. They shouldn't be giving you legal advice. They'll point you in the right direction. Okay, but they're not attorneys. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, and the 10th rule. Okay, most important rule: be ready to buy. Okay, if you're not ready to buy, you don't need a real estate agent. Okay, you can go to open houses by yourself. I mean, be honest with your agent, who's there, and say you're only looking. You're in the looking stage. Okay, and actually, it's better that you only look at homes online until you're truly in the market for buying a house. Okay, that way you don't waste your time. You don't waste your time. You don't waste the agent's time, and you don't waste the seller's time for that matter. I mean, remember, sellers got to get their family ready and up and out of the house for you to come in only to window shop. It's not really fair to the seller. Okay, it's a waste of everybody's time. So don't do that. Once you start looking though, especially if you have children, hire a babysitter. Okay, to take care of the kids. That way you can spend the day touring homes, and you'll be 100% focused on the home buying process and not what little Johnny's touching over there. Okay, make sure, and this again. Make sure that you're pre-approved and not just pre-qualified. There is a difference. Speak to your lender. We can't give you just like we can't give you legal advice. We can't give you financial advice. We're not mortgage brokers. Okay, we're not financial advisors. Okay, we'll point you in the right direction. Speak to your lender. Okay, your agent will need to you will need it anyway. To accompany your purchase. Your offer to purchase. Okay, and they're gonna need a pre-approval or proof of funds. And it may even be required prior to scheduling a showing. Some listing agents, especially now, want pre-approvals and proof of funds prior to scheduling a showing, and they should be doing it anyway as the listing agent, because that's their job, to make sure that that any buyer entering the home is ready, willing, and able to buy. And if they're just letting anybody in, they're not doing their job. So be prepared, get pre-approved prior to scheduling a showing. It's going to benefit you in the long run, and it's going to shorten the process. Okay, again, with respect and courtesy on both sides, okay, you and your agent can have a successful relationship and smoothly navigate the process of buying a home. I mean, think about this. If you're not willing to commit to your agent, why should your agent commit to you? Okay? Remember, agents work hard and they don't enjoy, their time being wasted. And I'm sure neither do you. Okay? So, I hope this was helpful. And if you haven't already done so, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You'll know when these videos are coming out. And as always, I'm wishing you all well. Have an awesome day. If you need me for any reason, my contact information is in the description box below. Again, I hope everybody's going to have a great day. We'll talk to you all soon. Peace out.